Joining us now, Congressman Michael Cloud from House Oversight, and we welcome to the show the Newsweek's Deputy Opinion Editor and author Batya Ungar-Sargon. It's great to have you both on. It's a pleasure to see you both. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Congressman, first to you. Congressman, what do you expect from President Biden tonight? Polls show voters don't like a nation divided. They're anxious and worried about the economy and crime and the border. What do you think's coming?
Well, this is what we've seen before. This is unity by the left. It's our way or the highway. It's when inclusion means if you believe our way, then great. If not, then you're excluded from the group. And so tragically, what we've seen is the extreme left embrace this ideology that if you don't agree with me, that you're evil, and we'll do anything, including march in front of your house or do whatever we can to put pressure on you to make you force their will and make them do what they want to be done. And so this is not what the rule of law is about.
You know, the other thing, to what the congressman is saying, Batya, and you wrote a terrific Wall Street Journal opinion piece that everybody's talking about. It's basically talking about this. I mean, you know, the president is president of all Americans. He's not just president of the Democrat Party. And the White House is making the midterms about Trump. How do you see this playing out?
You know, it's so interesting because, you know, Biden's having his they cling to their guns and their Bibles and their bigotries moment, right? You know, remember when President Obama said that about these industrial towns that had been absolutely decimated by, you know, a handshake agreement between both parties to ship all of these good working class jobs overseas. And President Obama essentially called them racists for objecting to this. But at least he knew it was a gaffe, right? What you have now is President Biden going out and literally campaigning on calling half of the nation fascist, semi-fascist, 75 million people who voted for, you know, President Trump because he was talking about things like NAFTA back in the day in 2016. So I think that they're saying the quiet part out loud. They, you know, 95% of the time when you hear an accusation from the left of racism, what's hiding behind it is a class divide that the leftist elites are benefiting from and that the working class is paying for.
And that's what your op-ed is about. You know, again, Trump is not on the midterm ballot. Let's watch the White House press secretary and watch House Minority Leader Kevin McCarthy rebut it. Watch this.
We understand we hit a nerve. We get that. We understand that they're trying to hide. And we understand that ultra-MAGA office holders want to play games here and dodge accountability for their extreme proposals and actions, but they're just telling on themselves. We're talking about agenda that is not popular. We're talking about agendas that is incredibly extreme. We're talking about an agenda that is not in line where majority of Americans are. When we talk about the extremism, we're talking about a very small component of the American public.
The problem with Joe Biden is he does not understand the soul of America, the tens of millions of hardworking, law-abiding citizens that he vilifies. They want a stronger, safer, more prosperous America, and all he does is vilify them to distract from the disasters and no plan he has to save America from where we are today.
Did you see the press secretary? She said, we're talking about a small piece, but they're making the whole thing about it, right? You know what I mean? They're making the whole midterm about Trump and MAGA voters. I mean, we heard, Congressman, they want strong border, lower inflation, good trade deals, giving parents more power in the classroom. And the soul of the nation is not constantly about attacking each other and dividing each other.
Exactly. You know, when you've been in Washington for 40 years and haven't really left the Beltway that much, you begin to believe your own press release when you say things like there's 0% inflation, people aren't walking across the border. But the American people are still shopping at the grocery stores and seeing higher prices, and people throughout the country can easily watch the videos and are feeling the effects of fentanyl in their communities. And, you know, so it's just crazy the fact that they continue to push this agenda thinking that Americans are going to buy it when really they're the ones who kind of left reality behind in the dust.
Yeah, you know, Batya, we've seen the polls. I mean, Bill Clinton would be considered conservative today by this party. Obama would be considered conservative by this party. And, you know, Batya, Biden speaks on the same day new details from a book reveal Biden's bad relationship with Obama. That Obama thought Biden was so bad, so many mistakes connected to old Washington. Obama didn't even want Biden on the ticket in 2012. He wanted Hillary instead, and he backed Hillary in 2016 and in 2020 as well.
Yeah, it's very interesting to read these revelations. Liz, I love that you focus on the fact that Americans are a lot less divided than the elites want us to believe. You bring that up again and again, and it's so true. Americans are totally united on the most important issues. They want a strong border. They want the rule of law. They want no crime in their communities, right? They want their children to be able to go to good schools and get a good education and safety. And these are all things that, the Democrats used to represent. They used to stand for the little guy. They used to be the side of labor. They used to be the side of the working class. And even in these revelations, you see that Joe Biden even somehow represented that stuff back in the day when he was opposing, President Obama, who he saw as an elitist. Fast forward to today, and President Biden has become that same elitist. He represents the elites of the Democratic Party, student loan forgiveness, an open border, rampant crime. This is stuff that punishes the working class and benefits the elites.
Yeah, to what Batya just said, Congressman, now we've got state attorneys general from Missouri, reportedly, and other states talking about suing to block the student loan bailout as unfair, illegal. It does not help the blue-collar middle-class worker who didn't go to college, or, Joe the plumber, or people who paid off their loans. But the one thing that stood out from that book, it's from New York Magazine journalist Gabriel De Benedetti, is that Obama said Biden should not run in 2020. That the campaigning is so tiring that he's not ready for it. Obama had told Politico, who doesn't have it is Biden. So, people, to what Batya is saying, we miss the context. We're so in the moment right now. We don't see the 30,000-foot perspective of what people want, where this nation is. It's a moderate, mainstream America, right? And they don't like to see how far to the right or far to the left D.C. has become.
Well, in generations gone past, the difference between the political spectrum was really us talking about the role of government in getting to that shared space of what we wanted for our families, our communities, our churches, our nation. And what's happening in D.C. right now is the left has gone so extreme in this Marxist ideology that they're questioning whether you're good, whether America is a force for good in the world. And most Americans can easily study history and say, yes, we made our mistakes, but by and large, we are a force for good in the world, and we need a strong America to continue to be.
That's it. What the congressman just said, Batya, final word, America is good because its people are good. They're optimistic. They love this country. People who come from Cuba, North Korea, and China are saying to the far left, what are you doing? What nation do you live in? You have freedoms that we didn't have in our home countries that went communist. They don't even know how good they have it here, but they continue to attack and undermine it and treat the U.S. Constitution like an all-you-can-eat buffet salad. Go ahead, Batya, final word.
Yeah, I would urge Americans to remember, as they're watching the president tonight lecture them about democracy, that we are much more united than we are divided, and that the people really attacking our democracy are the people who don't believe we should have a national border, who don't believe we should have rule of law, who don't believe black children should be able to get to school without being shot at, and who don't believe that the people they disagree with on this or that issue have the right to have a different opinion than they do.
Congressman Cloud, Batya Ungar-Sargon, thank you for joining us. Good to see you.